Hey guys, what's up? This is Cameron from It's Paintball, and today I have a video of my personal opinions on what the best budget baller gun and equipment and stuff like that is, just in my opinion. A few other people have done this before. I've seen a few videos. I know TechPB did it. That's where I honestly got the video idea from. Obviously it's not an idea if you take it from someone, but he has his personal opinion, I have my personal opinion, and I'm going to give you mine. Hopefully you'll stay through the whole thing to watch. Really, what I'm going to do is the guns first, because that's pretty much what everybody worries about with the budget baller stuff. Although you should get the gun last before you get, like you should get your mask, then your hopper, then your tank, then your gun. I got that from my uncle. He used to play back in the 80s, and that's who I got it from. I think it's a great idea. I went down that route, and I think it's just the best way to go. But first we'll start with the guns, then we'll go to the hoppers, then to the tanks, then finally to the masks. Or maybe the hoppers and the masks and the tanks. Because the tanks, really, you can't go wrong with a tank, so there's no real way of me showing you what my favorite is. But right now, I'm going to go to the guns in alphabetical order on the website called A&S Gear. When we get to the hoppers, there's one other hopper that I want to show you that's not on this website. So, excuse me, yeah. So, with the A&S stuff, it's just ions that have been upped with A&S Gear branded stuff. Sorry for the pop-ups, but they're sadly going to have to be there because I've gotten rid of all my pop-up stuff and they still come up, so I don't know. But first let's go to Azoden. I know they're running out of Azoden stuff. I think Azoden is kind of going out of business maybe because they haven't been doing so well. They have, I don't know if they have the Chaos. They do not have the Chaos. Let's start with the ATS. Really, whenever you start playing paintball, it's not the best thing to do to go with a mechanical marker, just because you're going to use it, you're going to have fun for the first few times, then you're going to see other people with much better guns, and you're going to wish that you had an electric marker to keep up with theirs and to just have some more fun, be more competitive, things like that. That's what happened to me, and I wish that I had bought an electric gun first. These are stack tube mechanical markers. There's a poppet valve system, and they're stack tubed. They have a tube on the top, two on the bottom. The ATS, I don't really think you should get it. It draws you more into the milsim look, which really just waste your money with the milsim type stuff. Unless you're a really milsim type guy, I wouldn't go down this road, especially with the ATS. I personally happen to Zone Chaos. That was my very first gun. I still love it. Still have a little bit of fun with it. Just if I don't have enough paintballs to just, go out and use my electronic marker, which I currently don't have right now because I just ordered one and it still hasn't come in yet, so whatever. Anyways, getting sidetracked, sorry. I wouldn't go down this road. For $75, there's definitely a better mechanical marker. I would not go down this road. Plus, I don't even think they give you a feed neck, so that just sucks. With the Chaos is an okay little marker. It's obviously not listed here, but I have the Chaos. I've had fun with it. Like I said, it's exactly like the ATS. It just looks a little bit more speedball, but it's exactly the same gun. I wouldn't go down this road, but if you really want just a budget marker, you could go on like Ultimate Paintball or Hustle Paintball or whatever website carries the Chaos. Go ahead. The Azoden Chaos Deluxe, do not get this marker. It's the exact same thing as the Chaos, just with a zero kit in it and on-off ASA. I don't even think any place sells these anymore, so yeah. The Zenith is a overpriced marker. It's the exact same thing as the Blitz, which is not listed here, sadly, but if you can find the Blitz, they're usually being sold for $170 on other websites. It's everything that you see here, except for it has a one-piece barrel. It doesn't have the zero kit and doesn't have an on-off ASA. Bumping it up from 170 to 250 is just way too much, and I think that that you should just get the Blitz if you want to get this. They are electronic markers, but they're very loud. They kick a lot, but they are electronic markers. So if you want to get into electronic markers for under $200, I think the Blitz is a good way to go, but there might be some better stuff. I don't know. I haven't looked through this lately, but obviously I'm doing that right now. Let me get a drink. Okay. So the Brass Eagle, just little pump markers for $13, waste of money. If you really want something for like your kids or just to go play around with, just whatever. I don't know. They're just pieces of plastic. That's about it. The BT guns. What I don't like about Battle Tested, the company that's owned by Key, the BT, which is Battle Tested, or the man who started the Tippmann Company. I do not like them. I don't think they're really just trying to take the money away from people. They're exactly the same as Tippmann's. They're just mechanical markers that shoot exactly the same as all Tippmann's do, just with a bunch of plastic on them that doesn't help you do any better. I mean, I guess it looks milsim, woohoo, but once you get into the game, you're going to start wanting to play speedball. Whenever I first started, I had the same mentality, and I thank Jesus that I did not buy any type of milsim marker, because it would just be a bunch of money that just gets wasted. I mean, if you're a die-hard milsim fan and you love the military and stuff like that, I'm not going to criticize you at all, because I mean, that's who you are, that's what you like. But for most beginners, these are not the markers to go with. If you start out with a marker and you think that you like the milsim stuff better, then go ahead and get that. But for a beginner, I think it's a waste of money to buy just a bunch of plastic. Makes your gun heavier, costs more money. I think it's just a waste of money, and I'm not even going to go through the BT stuff. Dangerous Power. They have two markers that I'm going to show you. I'm also going to show you a third. First off, the E1. The E1's a nice little marker. It just went down in price, and I'm kind of glad it did, because it's now right on par with the Blitz, and I personally think that it's much better than the Blitz. Definitely $20 better than the Blitz, which is what it used to be. Now it's $175, which is pretty much the same as the Blitz. It comes with an on-off ASA. I've never had any leaking problems with the ones that I've used. Dangerous Power gets a bad rap for the leaking problems in the bolt stick, but this hasn't had any bolt stick for the ones that I've used, or leaking, so that's pretty awesome. The board kind of sucks because it comes with just semi-auto and 25 BPS full auto, I believe. That's just a wasted mode, because most fields don't allow more than 15 balls per second, and also 25, you're going to run through a hopper quick, and for beginners, you cannot pay for that. So basically this is a straight semi-automatic shooting gun, but it's a great little gun for $175. If you go to Dangerous Power's website, they give a free clamping feed neck. So I would say get this from Dangerous Power themselves, because they give you a free clamping feed neck, not this stupid stovepipe that doesn't fit anything. So yeah, get it from Dangerous Power itself. I really like the marker for the money. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. Now the G4 and the G5 is what I've had personally a lot of problems with. The G4, it has a lot of bolt stick. It has a lot of leaking right out of the box. If you can get one used for, say, like 100 something, or maybe 200 if it's like really nice, most of the time this is how it goes. Either someone buys the marker, is able to fix the bolt stick and the leaking, uses it, enjoys it, has fun, then goes out to sell it, Or you get the marker, or the person gets the marker, it leaks and has bolt stick, they don't know what the problem is, they can't fix it, so they just sell it and it's broken. If you can find a guy that has a video of it shooting and not leaking and stuff like that, pick one up for like $200 or a little bit less, but I would say stay away from it new. And then the G5, I did like the G5 a lot. I had great anticipation for this marker, but sadly it still had bolt stick. So again, if you can find one used like this that is working, in working condition, I would say go for it. But if not, obviously don't buy it new, because you're going to be disappointed and most likely you'll have a really hard time fixing it, especially for a beginner. Alright, so next we have, no, not Lux, not Die, let's go to Empire. Obviously Empire has the BT stuff, has the BT Delta, things like that. Don't go for it, like I said before. The Mini, it is a little bit over $300, but I do want to show you it because it is a very popular marker. You see a lot of them out on the field. Let's just go with the straight black one to show an example of it. On this marker, it comes with a clamping feed neck, which is awesome. The trigger, a lot of people complain about the trigger, but whenever I felt it on the newest Empire Mini, I really honestly liked it a lot. It is kind of bouncy, but you can get a pretty quick rate of fire with just semi-auto. One thing that I don't like about it is the on-off ASA. If you get one of these, just drop some oil on the threads on the ASA, because on any mechanical marker, not just this one, you might have some problems getting the tank out, and you might end up stripping some threads. So anything without an on-off ASA could possibly do that, so just drop some oil in the thread so it's a little bit easier for your tank to get in and out. For $325, I personally think it blows the G4 and the G5 out of the water. There are better markers for the money, in my opinion, and I will get to those a little bit later, but for $325, I think it's a pretty good marker. I would like to say sorry for the terrible quality. I have to use a camera pointed at my laptop screen because neither Fraps nor Camtasia would work for me. It literally kept crapping out every time I tried to record, so I had to just use this camera. I apologize deeply for that. So, sorry. I don't think Extreme Rage sells anything anymore. No, do not go with that. 55 caliber, they don't even make extra paintballs for that. Don't do that at all. Let's go to the Enemy. Now, when I used this Enemy, I was very surprised at how smooth and satisfying it was to play with this. This marker is just pretty awesome for $130. It's a spool valve. It does get about 1,000 shots off of a 6845, which is pretty nice, but most beginners won't be getting a 6845. Anyways, it has nice grips, has the Lux regulator, which is just awesome. The bolt is really quite good. I like the way that it works and the way that it moves and such. It has a clamping feed neck, but it's one of the Allen key feed necks, which isn't that bad, but obviously you'll have to use a tool to unscrew it. Comes with a regular ASA, just, you know, an ASA. Has a single trigger frame, which is pretty cool. I like that for a mechanical gun. I just think it's a little bit better than having a double trigger and not even being able to use 2 fingers to walk it. I don't see the point of that at all. Has a nice little 9-inch barrel, not bad. I think for $130, this little spool valve gun is pretty awesome. I played with it for an entire day. I used it against, like, just regulars, like regular mechanical guns, and also electric guns like axes, and even egos and stuff, and I still got people out. I mean, this marker is just pretty awesome for the price. Now to the Envy. The Envy is basically the same thing as the Enemy, except it's electric. For the price did go down to $185, I personally think that unless you like the modes that are on this, which there's not very many, I think there's 4 or 5, but unless you like the modes on this, I would still say go with the E1 just because it's a little bit cheaper, comes with a real clamping feed neck, well, if you get it off of Dangerous Power's website. This one comes with a just regular Allen key feed neck, which isn't bad. This thing, I don't like the trigger on it very much either. It's like the old ultralight triggers, which in my opinion kind of suck, but really, I would get the E1 instead of this, but unless you like the modes on this, I still think it's a great market for the price, but I think the E1's a little bit better value because it does come with an on-off ASA, a little bit better trigger, and it comes with a clamping feed neck. But unless you like the modes, I would say go with the E1, but this is still a great market for the price. Now the Ecstasy. Ecstasy is a great gun, but I do have a problem with it. One thing that I would personally just skip this gun all around. The trigger is the only problem. But first, let's go over the specs of it. It's exactly the same as the Envy. Has the clamping feed neck with the Allen key feed neck. It does come with an on-off ASA, which is nice. It is a pretty nice on-off ASA. It does work perfectly. It comes with a much better barrel, longer. Pretty much honed exactly the same, but it is longer, so it's easier to point and to just see your targets and maneuver around bunkers and such. I believe it's 12 inches, but it's a pretty nice barrel. Anyways, the thing that I don't like about it is the trigger. The Envy trigger, in my opinion, is even better than this one. It obviously has the better geometry to match your fingers, but there's a lot of return on the magnet. Like whenever you pull it back, you can definitely feel it touching the back of the gun and activating. It sticks. What I mean by that is whenever you pull the trigger back, it sticks to the back a little bit and it takes longer for it to return. So whenever you're trying to walk the trigger, you can maybe get like 5 BPS max. That's what I don't like about this gun. If you have the money to replace the trigger, definitely do that. It's an awesome gun for the price. Oops, I apologize for that. Awesome gun for the price, but the trigger just makes me want to skip it all around. If you can get the money to upgrade the trigger, get this gun, but other than that, just skip it because the trigger really sucks. The G1, I personally not used the G1. I've used the SP1, which they're basically the same, except for this comes with a little longer barrel. And it also comes with a stock, which I think is just pointless. I don't see the point in getting a stock, or having a stock. Awesome gun, awesome woods ball gun. I wouldn't really recommend getting this just because it's a straight woods ball marker, but if you have the money, it's my favorite woods ball gun. The BT guns, the TMs and such, they work like a mechanical gun just with electronics in it. I don't like that. This actually works like an Ecstasy, but it has the milsim features, has the milsim look, and it has a single trigger, which I like. So yeah, unless you have the money and you're straight woods ball or something like that, pick it up, but other than that, skip it and get something else. Invert's the same thing as Empire. Flatmaster is just terrible. Let's go to Kingman. The Kingman Phoenix. The Kingman Phoenix. Let's go to the Sonics first, and then the Phoenix. Actually, let me do this. The Sonics and the Extra and the Victor are pretty much exactly the same as the Zodin, but with the price bumped up a little bit. Don't go for it. I would rather get an Zodin than one of these because I just don't have reliability for a Spider / Kingman at all. So just get a Zodin Chaos if you're thinking about that type of gun. Do not go with these. They look much uglier in my opinion. So yeah. Let's go to the Phoenix. The Phoenix is just, the price has gone down on it, and it's basically the same exact thing as the Zodin Blitz. The price has gone down on it, so I think it's better value than the Blitz. The Kingman Phoenix is basically the exact same thing as the Blitz, as I just stated. So get this if you're thinking about getting the Blitz, just because it's pretty much exactly the same marker. Might be a little bit uglier, but it's, like I said, it's pretty much the same exact marker. Active, no. Machine, no. Milkout Aura, I just wouldn't buy from them. Proto. This, I have used, the 2011 Proto Rail. I used it last weekend, and I honestly really like this marker, especially for the price. Has the Hyper 3 reg, it has the really nice barrel, actually. It uses the same exact bolt as the Reflex Rail, which is a proven bolt, which is almost the same thing as the DM bolt, but obviously just gets a little bit less efficiency and things like that. The trigger, it's, like I said, it's not very good. It's like the ultralight trigger, but it's but it is way, way, way better than the Ecstasy trigger. I prefer this trigger so much more than the Ecstasy trigger, even though it doesn't have the good geometry or anything like that. But again, it'll suffice. It'll definitely suffice for a beginner. Eventually, if you want to keep the gun and just upgrade it a bunch, it's definitely an upgradable gun that'll still perform awesome. Once you upgrade it more, maybe get an on-off ASA, better barrel, better bolt, better feed neck, but the first thing that I would upgrade on this gun would be the trigger, but still the trigger will suffice. It's definitely much better than the Ecstasy. You can actually walk this trigger, which is awesome. For $250, I think it's awesome. So I would personally get it for $250, but obviously I have gotten something better. But if I were a beginner, I would definitely pick this marker up. I like it a lot. And it comes in a lot of colors. There's black, red, olive, blue, purple, dust lime, orange, tan. I mean, it comes in many colors. It used to have pink. Oh, it still does have pink, but the price is up a little bit more, so I don't know. Okay. So, yeah. What next? Smart parts. Woohoo! Smart parts. Honestly, I know these get a ton of bad rap, but once you get them tuned right, once you get some good upgrades on them, they're actually pretty good shooting markers. But the problem is they come with really bad stuff stock. The only thing that I see that's good on this is the bolt, but it's not bolt out the back, which really sucks. It does come with a way better barrel. It comes with the same barrel as the Ecstasy, and it comes with the new Lux regulator, which is awesome. And then it has the same ASA as the Envy. It needs a better trigger, it needs a better feed neck, but really they're actually pretty good shooting markers for the price. But honestly, there is a lot better stuff for the price, just because on that stuff you don't really have to upgrade much. You do have to upgrade quite a few things on this, so I would say skip this definitely. But if you really want to, if you're an Ion fan, get some upgrades for it. Go out and have fun with it. Tippmann, just basic mechanical rental markers. Nothing special at all, really. 98s, they're heavy, they're cumbersome, they shoot fine. It's way overpriced. The Zodin Chaos is like 90, and it's 70 times better than this is. So don't pick up a Tippmann marker. I don't see the point in them. They don't even look milsim. They look really ugly to me, in my opinion. I believe the crossover is like $325, $350. That's a little bit over budget, but I will go over it. I think this is a pretty solid marker. I think the Mini is a little bit better value, just because it comes with a better board, better trigger, and it's not nearly as ugly as this is. Does come with a good clamping feed neck. The regulator, I believe, is in the ASA, right here. Just has a little grip. This isn't even a volumizer, it's just a grip to put your hand. It does come with a new Tippmann trigger, which I believe is a lot nicer than the old one. Can be mechanical or electronic, whichever one you want to set it to. So I think that's pretty cool, but I would say skip it. There's definitely better stuff. And then the rest of the stuff in Tippmann, just don't even go there. It's just a waste of your money. Unity. I think Unity, I don't even know if they still have these anymore, but when I last saw them, if it'll even load. Unity? Hello? What about Valken? Okay, alright, good. The Unity Prime is exactly the same as the Zoden Chaos, but it does come with the clamping feed neck, so I think it's a little bit uglier than the Chaos. I kind of like the look of it, actually, but it's a little bit uglier. I don't know. I'm weird. The barrel seems it would be the same quality. It is auto-cocker threaded, but it does come with a clamping feed neck, so I do like that a little bit better. What else is here? And then finally, we have Valken. The SW is the same thing as Tippmann, don't go there. Then the Proton, obviously it's a little over 300, but it is 325, so it's just $25 more. I like this gun a lot for the price. The trigger is awesome. You can change the modes quickly. It has a great climbing feed neck, awesome little on-off ASA, toolless bolt. The bolt and it's pretty nice too. I think that this is an awesome value for the price. I would say if you have 325, get this over the rail, but get this definitely over the Mini. If you're looking in the 325 range, it's way better than the Mini in my opinion. But if you only have like 300 or something like that, I still think the rail is the best for the price for 250, but this is definitely an awesome gun for 325. So that wraps up the gun section, so let's move on to the hopper section. Actually, what I'm going to do is just tell you what my personal opinion of everything is. If you have 325, go with the Valken Proton. If you have 250, it's definitely the best marker for the price, which is the Proto Rail PMR. I think it's an awesome gun for the price. Definitely shoots smooth, very quiet. For the mechanical markers that are like under $100, I'd say go with the Unity Prime. And for a Woodsball marker, I'd say go with the SP1, which is $130 in the smart part section, which I didn't even show. It's the exact same thing as the G1, just with a shorter barrel. I think you should get the SP1 instead of the G1, but yeah, that's my personal opinion. So there you go. After I make this series of videos, or this just one video, I'm going to do my personal favorite mid-range marker, and yes, I am going to add the Planet Eclipse Etha. Even though it's not in the mid-range tournament level, I'm still going to add it in there because it's in the $400 to $600 range. So yeah. But right now, I'm going to go to the hoppers. I'm going to take a drink. BT just has rip clips, which are just a little electronic hoppers that you put on the side of the Tippmanns and the BTs and stuff like that. The rotor, I definitely love the rotor. I have this and another loader, which I'm going to go to right now, which is on, this is the only place that I've found it other than their personal website. Virtue Spire. Oh, there's my hand. Okay, so let's go to the rotor first. The rotor, it's tied for my favorite electric hopper. This hopper is just awesome. I have one right now, as you can hear, and you may have seen in my gear bag video. For $150, I honestly do think that they are overpriced. Also, the same thing with the Spire. I think they're a little overpriced. For $150, I think that's a good price on it. I think they could go down to $130 for all the colors. Maybe not the newest colors, but like for the black and the blue, like these main colors right here, these main colors right there, then all these ones should be like $130. I think that'd be a solid price for those. And then these ones up here would be $150. Or maybe even $200, I don't know. But I think they're a little overpriced for what they are. Definitely, if you can find one for $100, $120, just something like that, definitely pick it up. And obviously, if you can find one for under $100, just pick one up. I mean, they're awesome loaders. They definitely work great. They're very quick. They'll keep up with anything that you have. Yeah. They don't jam unless you have a swelled ball in there, then they will jam. But other than that, it's a really solid loader. I definitely love my rotor. Then the Spires. This is tied with the rotor. I do not have a Spire. I have used a few Spires, and I absolutely love the Spire. I love the little sound it makes whenever you turn it on. It spins awesome. It keeps up. They look great. They come in tons of different colors, but also they're the most expensive. You can get a rotor for $150 new, but you have to get a Spire for $185. There's no color differences. Then for other colors, it's even more money. Then with the speed feed, it's even more money. But definitely a great hopper. I would still say go with the rotor just because these are a little bit new. Some people are still having problems with them, and they are the most expensive. So I would just say go with the rotor at the moment. But if you can find one for like $130, pick this thing up. It's awesome. Empire. The Empire Halo 2s. I just did a video on how to program the Empire Halo 2s. They obviously make other hoppers, but this is one that's really asked about most and is, I would say, bought most from Empire. I know that there's a ton of Prophecies bought, but for budget ballers, this is what most people go to. And it's really the invert 2 that they go to. It's the same thing as the Empire Halo 2, just the Empire Halo 2 has more colors. The one that I have, you can hear it spin. Yeah, it's not mine, it's my friend's, like I said in the programming video. If you can figure out how to program them, if you want to watch my video on how to program it and make it spin faster, definitely an awesome hopper. For the price, I definitely think a rotor is way better. I think a Pinocchio's quite a bit better. I think the Prophecy's quite a bit better. I definitely think the Spire's a lot better. But for $74, I wouldn't say to get a Fasta or an Evolution or anything like that. I think that $74 as the lowest price, I think this is a solid hopper. If you want to get one and figure out how to program it to make it spin faster, just watch my video, watch somebody else's video. I'd appreciate it if you watch mine, but if not, obviously, you don't have to. But yeah, for $74, it's my favorite budget baller hopper. I think they work fine. I haven't seen anybody have any problems with it. My friend loves his. Obviously, he didn't love it whenever it wouldn't cycle or it wouldn't spin, but the cycling problem was just the batteries were, he used really crappy knockoff brand batteries and they were low, and then the programming, obviously you can definitely fix the programming. I believe they get up to 25 balls per second, and you don't need to be shooting more than that. You really don't. So yeah, $74, I'd say pick it up. The Scion, the description that Simon has given and that ANS Gear gives is that it has the original Prophecy internals in a Halo body. I think for $100, that's a little overpriced, maybe $90, because you can get the original Prophecy for about like $80 or $90. So maybe lower the price on it a little bit. I don't know. But obviously, when you're getting a original Prophecy, you're getting it used, so that's one factor. So maybe $100 is an okay price for it. But you can get a Prophecy Z2 for $130. So I would say just skip this and just get a Prophecy Z2, a used Prophecy, or a Invert 2 / Halo 2. They're the same thing. Z2, I personally like the rotor and the spire better than the Z2. People swear by the Z2. I think that it's an awesome hopper. I'm not saying that it's bad. I just think that the rotor is better. They obviously work perfectly. They are great little hoppers. They look very sleek, look very nice. They're selling these for $130, the white ones and the camo ones for $130. I'd say don't even care about the colors. I mean, the white just, it looks good. And it's $130, where the black one is $170. I think that it's a good price for it, definitely. But you could definitely find a Z2 for like $100. Sorry if I repeat myself by saying definitely or something like that. I just get kind of, I don't know. Yeah. I think that's a good price. But, let's move on. There really isn't that much left. The Kingman and the JT. Let's go to these. Now, the Evolution hopper, or the Revolution, sorry. The Revolution, it's just basically the new Revies, the new version of the Revies that are by JT now, apparently. They're just agitating hoppers. They were awesome back in their day. But now I think they're kind of useless. I'm definitely not hating on the Revies or the people that use the Revies. Like if you use them on a pump or on an older electric gun or say a mechanical marker, they're definitely good for that. But for nowadays, for competitive play, no, they're not. The JT Evolution is just an Eggy that's been rebranded by JT, and it just looks a little bit stupider than it already did. I would say skip this, definitely, and just get the Invert 2 / Halo 2. They're the same thing. Like I've said, Kingman Fasta, they're basically the same thing as Pinocchios. I would stay away from it just because they're really big, and they seem like they weigh a lot. I don't know if they do. One of the people that I play with a bunch, he has one. I haven't ever asked him about it, but I assume that he likes it because he hasn't gotten anything else. But I would say just save up $4 and just get the Invert 2. Now, for the actual Pinocchio, I think that it's a great hopper, but it came up in price to $110, and for $20 more you can get the Prophecy Z2 in white, and I think that the Z2 just is a lot better than the Pinocchio. I think the Pinocchio is great though. It uses a bend sensor. It spins up to 30 balls per second, but it is big. It is bulky looking. It weighs the least out of all the hoppers that I've told you about, but it is bulky. It is big. It is pretty ugly. I would like to have something that looks good on top of my hopper. I think the spires, I think the rotors, the Prophecies, they look awesome on top of your hopper. The Halos are kind of ugly, the Invert 2's kind of ugly, but the Pinocchio is definitely the ugliest out of all of them. They're pretty tall. They're not really they're not really wide, but yeah. I would say save up $20 and get the Prophecy Z2, but for $110, not a bad hopper. The VMAX, the Falcon VMAX, don't even go there. I used to have one of these. I sold the piece of junk. I got a rotor, and the rotor is so much better. The VMAX just gives you tons of trouble. For competitive play, these things suck. If you're shooting like maybe 10 balls per second, go ahead. I think it's just a waste of your money. I think you could save up $10 more and get the Invert 2, which just blows this thing out of the water. I don't think you should waste your money on it, but obviously it's your opinion. So that pretty much wraps it up with the hoppers. The rest of the hoppers are just agitating, or not agitating, but gravity fed. So everyone pretty much knows about gravity fed. I'm gonna take a drink. Mountain Dew, woohoo. Anyways, we should go to the mask now. Most of the masks are going to be good for pretty much anybody. Some are a little bit big, some are a little bit small, some are kind of crappy, some are really good. I'm going to go through all of them, so let's get this started. On the BT masks, this invert avatar is the exact same thing as an event, just camo. Pretty much, that's about it. So it's just an invert or a event, just a little bit cheaper, but I think there's better stuff than this. So yeah, let's go to the dye i4s and i3s. The i4s, they are $120. Some of them are $110. I love the mask personally. I hate the titanium mask. I like the new lenses that they just came out with. The titanium mirror colors, I don't like them. I think that they give you too much of a rainbow effect on your actual eyes, and they actually mirror off the front, like the nose piece, and it goes back into your eyes. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't like that part. I think that they're awesome masks. Definitely try one out before you get it, because whenever I used one, it felt awesome, was very comfortable, but it's very small. If I were to play a game with it and I got shot around the chin area, or even my ears, like the back of my ears stuck out, if I gotten hit there or around my chin, I would have gotten hit, and it would have hurt a lot. So definitely try it out. Make sure you have a small enough face for them to fit you. Obviously, again, it's your opinion. You can get whatever you want. If you have a bigger face and you like it, obviously get it, but I think they're a little too small. Empire. Now, the Empire has the E-Flex, the E-Vent, the Helix, the Vidar, and X-Ray. The E-Flex is a great mask. It uses the E-Vent frames with the ProFlex bottoms. I think it's a little overpriced for $110. I have a personal favorite 2 masks. I tie them. I give them a tie. Well, actually 3. I tie all 3 of those. I personally only own 1 at the moment. The E-Flexes, I think they're a little overpriced. Maybe like 90 or 80 bucks would be an okay price for them. It just says event frames with really good earpieces and ProFlex bottoms. That's all I can really say. They breathe great. They have awesome vision. So yeah, I would say skip it. I think it's a little overpriced, but yeah. The events, they are way overpriced. $100. I don't like that at all. That's way too much money for an event. I think the events are worth $60. I think they're worth $60. I don't think they're worth $100. Obviously the frames are nice. It's comfortable and stuff. But the bottoms, they pooch out quite a bit. You can get really hurt that way. I don't like it. I don't know. I wouldn't pay $100. I wouldn't even buy this mask. For $60, I think it'd be an awesome mask. Maybe $70, a great mask, but for $100, that's just way too much. The Helix, I think it's the best budget baller mask, just because you can breathe pretty well in it. It does have the bafflings on the sides, so that it comes out the sides and to the back, so it's not really echoing. Has nice earpieces, uses the exact same frames that the invert avatars use, which is the same as the events. Has a thermal lens, which is the event lens. It breathes pretty nice. It's pretty comfortable. So for $30, if you're on a complete budget and that's all you can spend on a mask, I would say pick it up. So that's my personal favorite $30 mask. So next up is the Vidar. The Vidar is $40 or $50. $50, okay. For $20 more than the Helix, I think that there's not really that big of a difference. These are really kind of like the Flex 8s, I guess, because really they look like the Flex 8s in my opinion, because they have the plastic on the bottom. They're shaped kind of like them. They're made by Empire / JT. Okay, they're made by Key. I'll say that. I would say that they're basically like Flex 8s. I don't know. I think the Helix is fine. I wouldn't spend an extra $20 and get this. I think there's definitely better stuff for the price. So that's it with Empire. I forgot to do the Dye i3. So let's go back and do the i3. The i3s are actually really nice, surprisingly. They have really nice foam. The new ears that they put in them are pretty nice too. They're kind of big. If you really like dye stuff and you don't like the i4s and the size of the i4s, I think that the i3s are pretty good. I don't think they're worth $90, but there definitely is another mask that's almost exactly like this for a little bit cheaper, which I like quite a bit. So that's my opinion on the i3s. Also, one other thing about the i3s is that the lenses are really hard to get out. They're basically as hard to get out as the Proflex lenses, but still a great mask, just a little overpriced. What's next? Extreme Rage, no. Gen X Global, no. What does GI Milsim have? Yes. Okay, the GI Milsim Sleek Mask, $10 more than the Invert Helix or the Empire Helix. They're hard plastic. I don't really like them. I don't see them costing $40, so I would say skip it for sure. Invert, it just has the Helix and the Avatar. I've already explained those. The JT masks, these ones and the V-Force mask are tied for my favorite. But first, let's go to the Elites. Now the Elites, the Alpha, the JT, this mask, the JT Alpha Thermal Paintball Goggle Limited Edition, Olive Skull, whatever. These ones, they're basically exactly the same thing as the ones that you would get from Walmart, with the crappy foam and stuff like that, and the crappy strap, but you get a thermal lens. I don't think they're worth $50. I think the Vidar is better for $50 by a lot, or $40 or whatever. I wouldn't pick it up at all. The QLS, these are just crappy non-thermal masks. They suck. Not even going to go there either. The Spectre masks are my personal favorite in JT for sure. These ones are just plastic. I think these are on par with the Vidar. They're just as comfortable. But let's go to the Flex 8. I think that the Flex 8 just blows the freaking Vidar out of the water. They're so comfortable that you can breathe amazing in them. They're exactly the same as the Proflexes, except the bottoms on them are harder plastic mixed with a little bit harder rubber. So I think that these masks are awesome for $50. I love that price on it. And then for $10 more, the Proflexes, I love the Proflexes. They're so comfortable. The earpieces are upgraded from the 09 versions and the versions before that, because the earpieces are much thicker and are bigger. I love the Proflex bottoms. They're so easy to breathe through. I've gotten plenty of bounces off of them with my Proflexes. I just love the Flexes. So, yeah. Kingman, no, they just have basic non-thermal mask, and they're really crappy. Let's go to V-Force, just to go for it. The Profiler and the Grills. These three masks, the Proflex, the grills, and the profiler are my personal three favorite. If you have the extra money for the profiler or the grills, I would say that the Proflex is better than the profiler, but I think the grills are a bit better than the Proflex. I don't think that they're $30 better than the Proflex. I think that the Proflex is an awesome price at $62. I think they're worth more than that, maybe like $80. These are my personal favorite masks, along with the Profiler and the grills. I think the grills are a little bit better than the Proflex, but not $30 better. And then the Profiler is tied with the Proflex, but I would get the Proflex over the Profiler just because they're a little bit cheaper. So that's my opinion on those. The Kingman stuff, like I've already said. The Proto Switch, the Proto EL Switch is a non-thermal mask. The Proto Pro Axis is a nice mask for the price. It's almost the exact same thing as the i3, except they're way easier to get the lens out. Almost the exact same thing, but I still don't think they're worth $80, maybe $70 or $60. The Proto Switch FS for $40, or I don't even know what the differences of these are. I think these two may be non-thermal, but I know this one is thermal. For $50, I think that the Flex 8s are a bit better than these, but these are definitely better than the Vidar. So if you like the Proto or /Dye stuff, I would definitely pick this up for $50. I think it's a great mask. It's almost the same thing as the Axis Pro. I just think those are all great masks. Sly. The one thing that there's actually two things that I don't like about the Sly Profits. Actually, there's three. That's kind of bad, but there are three things. I love the double strapping, but there's no silicone on the straps, so that's one problem. So it won't stick to your head very well. It has really bad. It has so much ear padding, and you can't hear very well in them. Or else the ones that I have used have been really hard to hear in. Or not really hard. I can still hear, but hearing my teammates across the field, I can't really understand them. Things like that. The price is the other thing. I think that these are worth $70. I think the Proflexes are better than these, so maybe $60 or $50. If they had the silicone on the back of the straps and the ear protection wasn't, or the ear padding wasn't so thick, so they could hear better, I think that they'd definitely be worth like $80. But as of right now, I don't like them for the price. So the V-Force, I've gone through the V-Force. The armor and the shield are just non-fog. Don't go for non-fog masks. They're just a waste of your money. I personally got 3 before I ever got a thermal mask, and I was so happy when I got the thermal one. And the other 3 non-thermal were just a waste of my money. Then the Vantage, they don't even sell it anymore. So, that's the masks. I'll recap. I think that the best mask for the price is definitely the Proflex. Then would be the grills, would be next up in line for the best for the price. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about those. Now to the tanks. There's not really much to say about the tanks, except for when you're first starting off, I personally do think that it's a good idea to go with a 48-3000 just to start off with, because using CO2 just really sucks and it's really crappy. Like these 48-3000 Gorilla Air tanks are awesome. Just get a little tank cover for it and you're golden. These tanks work perfectly. They're not heavy. They're not too heavy. They're pretty comfortable on your shoulder. But definitely once you get the money, upgrade to a 6845. I don't really care about the regulators too much. The Pro Reg is definitely awesome. And if you're getting like a Bob Long gun, you'll have to get the SLP, or if you have an autococker, you'll have to get an SHP. but really the regulators don't matter too much. The regular adjustable regulator or just the regular regulator on these gas tanks are perfectly fine. They work. The standard HP is just perfectly fine. It's not gonna hurt your gun or anything like that. It just works. So once you get the money, definitely get one of these if you're still on a budget. But really, what you want to go for is the Ninja tanks, because, or the Ninja, the Gorilla Air, or the Crossfire, just because they look a lot nicer. They're just really solid tanks. They're a bit lighter and things like that. I have a Ninja 6845 Grey Ghost with the adjustable reg. If I really see the need to, and if I really have my eyes open to get a pro reg and have a reason to, then I might get one. But at the moment, my adjustable Grey Ghost Ninja tank for $150 is perfectly fine. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. You've heard my personal opinions on all this stuff. Please comment if you have any questions about anything. Rate the video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you like my videos and you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.